I was thinking of Michael Nesbitt today.
Monkey.
Yeah, Joanne would latch on to
I
that.
got it. I got it. Let's see. Let me make sure this is off. My volume is off on that. Okay, we're set
I
on.
think you're all set, Arnie.
Okay, thank you very much, and welcome everybody to the March 2nd, 2022 meeting of the Danbury Planning Commission. We will open with the roll call. Mr. Urice.
Here.
Ms. Hostetter.
Here.
Mr. Chiocchio.
Here.
Mr. Sylvain.
Here.
Mr. Renz and Mr. Haas are absent. Chairman Finaldi is here, so we do not need to seat any alternates this evening. Commission members, well, actually, before I call for the acceptance of the minutes, let me read my standard intro. This meeting of the Danbury Planning Commission is being held on Zoom as a virtual meeting. Even though this meeting is a virtual meeting, members of the public and interested parties continue to have the opportunity to participate in the meeting in a couple of different ways. You can participate via Zoom and see the audio and the video, or you can call in by phone and participate via audio only. Please be aware that we may have to mute your microphone or telephone in order to avoid an echo or some other background noise. Instructions on how to participate in the meeting appear on the City of Danbury website, and all of the documents and materials that apply to the matters to be discussed during this meeting, including the agenda, are also available on the City of Danbury website. As always, if you have any questions regarding how to participate, please contact the City of Danbury Planning and Zoning Department. As a reminder, the entire meeting will be posted on and can be seen on the City of Danbury website. We will follow the posted agenda as per standard practice. If prior to the meeting, any questions or comments on agenda items were submitted via email to the Planning and Zoning Department, those comments will be read during the appropriate portion of the meeting. Finally, please remember that technology glitches sometimes do occur. Please be patient if that happens. Commission members, the minutes of the February 17th, 2022 meeting were distributed. I'll entertain a motion, unless there's any discussion, that is, to accept those minutes.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Joe.
I did see the video, but since I wasn't present, I will abstain from the vote on these.
Okay, Mark, Mr. Urice has an abstention. Do I hear a motion to accept the minutes?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, looks like motion better seconded by Mr. Chiocchio. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of accepting the minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed. The minutes of the February 17th, 2022 meeting are accepted. Our next regular meeting, Commission members, is scheduled for March 16th at 7:30 p.m. We have no new public hearings this evening. Under continuation of public hearings, number 1, TDRAP LLC, application for special exception revised site plan approval for self-storage, modern self-storage in the IL40 zone, 12th Great Pasture Road, L16010, special exception number 782. We did receive an email today, and Jen, I didn't print it, from Mike Mizuko, who represents the applicant, asking us to continue this matter. Jen, do I have to read that into the record? I can probably find it somewhere.
I can
Hold on,
hold
let me
on.
try again.
I can read it if you want me to.
Yeah, if you got it right there, Jen, fire away, please.
Yep. And this was dated today at 2:59 p.m. Received from Mike Mizuko. As agent for modern self-storage proposal, I would like to withdraw the special exception application before the Planning Commission. The applicant has hired Jim McManus and was on site reflagging the wetlands when I was out there with Richard Janey and Bernie Gallo this morning. There was much less filling than expected, but it will be remapped and plans updated. And then he goes on to ask about resubmission. I won't read that part, but he withdrew the application, and just so the Planning Commission understands, they're updating their existing conditions plan to reflect the actual existing conditions. They're going out there with a new soil scientist, and they're flagging the wetlands, and they will be required to go back to EIC for a revised EIC permit. And then once that's obtained, they'll come back to the Planning Commission.
Wow.
All right. Is there anything else, Jen, on the EIC issue you wanted to discuss now, or do you want to wait?
No,
Nothing.
no.
Okay. Okay, good. Well, commission members, you heard the request from the applicant. Unless there's any other discussion, I'll entertain a motion to continue this public hearing.
So is it,
No,
is it,
we
is it a
continuing it?
continuation or a withdrawal?
No,
That's fine.
no. They withdrew. You don't need to do
Okay.
anything.
Right, don't need to do anything.
It's okay.
Full disclosure, I'm leaving for Florida tomorrow. Maybe I'm already there.
Jump right in there, Bob.
A
Keep it.
motion to sit tight, maybe.
All right. All right, it's withdrawn. My apologies.
That's okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll move right to item 2. 46 Mill Plain LLC, application for special exception site plan approval for mixed-use development, Westcon Park in the CA80 zone, RMF4 and RA40 zones. 1, proposed uses in the CA80 zone, retail, professional, business offices, banquet, drive-through, and restaurant. I'm going to skip the reading of the section numbers for the sake of brevity. Number 2, proposed uses in the RMF4 zone, apartment house, housing incentive option, and congregate housing. Again, skipping the section numbers. Let's see, 3, proposed use in the RA40 zone, park, playground, or recreational facility. 4, cumulative uses generating over 500 vehicle trips per day. And I will skip the reading of the map numbers. The applicant has requested this hearing be continued until the March 16th, 2022 meeting. There will be no discussion or testimony at this meeting. We did get a letter from Attorney Marcus. I did print this one, which I will read. February 23rd, 2022, Mr. Arnold Finaldi, Chairman, Danbury Planning Commission, 155 Deer Hill Road, Deer Hill Avenue, Danbury, Connecticut, 06801, Re 46 Mill Plain Road, LLC. Dear Arnie, on behalf of the applicant, I am requesting that you continue the public hearing scheduled for your meeting of March 2nd, 2022 until your meeting of March 16th, 2022, to allow the applicant to put together further response material to be submitted to the staff for review prior to the next continuation date. I understand that the continuation date will exceed the statutory time limit for concluding the public hearing, so I am granting a 30-day extension of that time period to accommodate this request. I thank you in advance for your anticipated cooperation in this matter. Very truly yours, Neil R. Marcus.
Chairman, I'll make a
Yes.
motion. I'll make a motion to
Continue.
Okay, you continue.
Table and continue.
To continue this application.
Motion made to continue. Do I hear a second? I see a second from Ms. Hofstadter.
Yeah.
Is there any other discussion? All in favor of continuing, please say aye.
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 Opposed? This matter will be continued until our next meeting. We'll move right ahead. Be a quick meeting this tonight. Old business for discussion and possible action. 1, Alpha Professional Building LLC. Application for special exception revised site plan approval for conversion of professional office space to medical office space in the CA80 zone, 34 Mill Plain Road, E15104. Commission members, we received a draft resolution. Let me see when it was dated. The draft resolution is dated February 24th, 2022. Jennifer, was there anything you wanted to discuss about the resolution?
I just wanted to quickly, I'm not going to go through all the whereases. It's a pretty straightforward application, change in use to allow office to medical on the first floor. But if you recall, Mike Mizuko had a couple revisions that he had to make to address outstanding staff comments that include, so on number 6, there's a condition to comply with my staff report dated February 14th. And then the report from construction services dated December 1st, and that's under number 7. And that's really about it. They have to pull the permit from the state for the work in the right of way. That's conditioned in there, as well as the work that they're doing along the city right of way on Kenosha with respect to the curbing and the sidewalk, and then the repairs to the concrete apron.
Okay. Commission
Questions?
members, any other questions for Jen on the resolution of approval?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead.
I know you touched upon it whenever I was absent, but when we did a special exception on this property some years ago.
We're not on that application. We're at
we're
34
on
Mill
Alpha.
Plain.
We're in Alpha. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'll zip.
Oh, it's okay. This is 34 Mill Plain. Mr. Kiokio, please.
Just a clarification. So Jen, I think in your comments were regarding the medical parking up front and a spot for a loading truck, right? One spot, I think they had the detail on the map, and then and the other item really was extending the sidewalk to meet the other one, right? They had left a gap.
Yeah, that's correct.
So those are all included in either your comment and I guess, was it number 6 and 7? Did they give you revised plans yet to show that or not yet?
No, they're not. So as soon as we close the public hearing, they're not allowed to submit any revisions. So that's why it's conditioned in number 6 and 7.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
But by conditioning my staff report, compliance with my staff report, all those items, which include the addition to reflect the variance, which has to do with, again, the designating that medical parking up on the extension of the concrete sidewalk, and then the loading zone. So again, by conditioning the staff report, he's required to make those revisions.
Okay.
And then the same with construction services. They had required some improvements, repairs to the apron, and a couple other minor things. So again, conditioning that requires them to comply with those outstanding comments.
Got it. Okay, thanks.
Any other questions for Jennifer, commission members? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion to approve the resolution of approval, if you're so inclined.
So moved.
Motion made by Mr. Sylvain. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Kiokio. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, I will try your minds. All in favor of approval of the resolution of approval, please say aye.
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 Opposed? This resolution of approval with conditions is approved. Thank you. We will move right to number 2 under our old business agenda, JAR Associates application for revised special exception, revised site plan approval for continued approved special exception use, storage, sale, rental, and/or repair of construction equipment, add storage or sale of building materials, 42 Kenosha Avenue, E17086, special exception 641. And again, commission members, the resolution of approval with conditions was previously distributed, dated February 24th, 2022. Jennifer, did you want to discuss the resolution of approval, or Joel, did you want to make a comment?
I did want to make a comment. I'm sorry I wasn't there last meeting to address this with the fellow commissioners, but when we approved this a special exception for this property some years ago, we got testimony from the applicant that they wouldn't park any equipment forward of the fence that was aligned with the back plane of the building. And that all went to heck in a handbaskets over some time. And I would like, we didn't put it in the whereases, conditions. So there was nothing enforceable. I'd like to at least add that to the resolution we have before us.
Well, here's my thought. And I guess it's more of a fairness issue than a land use issue. If I'm the applicant here, and I know you weren't at the last meeting, Joel, so it's kind of hard because you weren't there, so you couldn't participate. But if I'm the applicant, I'm like, look, if somebody on this commission had an issue with storing something in the front or the back or the sides, they had an obligation to say it at the public hearing so I could respond to it. Now, the public hearing was closed, the resolution's been drafted, the site plan's been submitted. I mean, not to change it now without a public hearing where the applicant can defend themselves, it's a fairness issue. I'm just not sure I'm comfortable doing that. That's the sort of fairness issue. If I could just finish this thought. The other issue is, we did hear testimony that you had air bar in there with these gigantic cranes and hoists in the front, as you said. But this applicant doesn't have equipment like that. They don't have these big grapple hooks and all the rest of it in the front, and they spoke to that issue. The other thing is, well, actually, I'll just kind of leave it at that. Now, look, that's just my opinion, but I'll leave it open for discussion.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes,
The
please.
site plan does show there in the front equipment display area. So, I mean, if it's shown on the plans already, I feel it's hard to say you can't do that now.
Yeah.
I understand. I
And,
understand.
and Joel, I know that you weren't there, so it's hard.
Yeah, I would have jumped on it, but like you say, I apologize for not being there.
Yeah,
Anyway,
well-
it was worth a mention.
And it's funny you should bring that up, because those of us who have been around a while remember, I think it was the old Grand Prix Motors on Federal Road,
Yeah.
where we allowed a equipment rental place to go in there, and
Yeah.
in that resolution, we baked in the requirement that they couldn't put stuff in front. So what happened? They
That's what we
started putting
did.
stuff in.
They did, and when I brought it to, if you will, enforcement, I was basically telling, well, we're here and they're almost underwater. We don't want to make it difficult, and so I bit my tongue and walked away.
Yeah, so you have an enforcement issue also. So it's tricky, I know, but and then remember, Federal Road is a major arterial road. That's got to be 15, 20,000 vehicle trips a day. This is Kenosha. This is nowhere near the volume that Federal has. So I don't know. That's just how I feel about it.
Yeah, the applicant, when the applicant was testifying, it was the hotel next door that had raised the issue, and that's really why we put it in there, but it went away.
Yeah. Is there any other discussion or questions for Jennifer? Jen, anything else on the resolution you'd like to talk about?
I don't think so. I think it's actually a fairly straightforward. I didn't have any additional conditions other than filing the grant in compliance with the plan that was presented to the commission. Mike did make some last minute changes before the hearing was opened. So that map is reflected and it's revised through 2/15/22, and that reflected a couple of the notes I wanted. I wanted a detail on the screen for the gate, and I wanted to know all of the materials that they're storing in the back. So that's been reflected on the plan already. So other than that, it's a fairly straightforward approval. I did want to know, and Mike noted it on the record, that there was, during the time of the application and the opening of the public hearing, they had a new property owner. So even though the legal notice says JAR Associates LLC, the owner is actually DC-7 Properties LLC. So I would like to acknowledge that, and the resolution reflects that new owner.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure that was baked in there. All right, good.
Yeah.
Any other questions for Jennifer on the resolution? Commission members? Pretty straightforward. Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion of approval for the resolution of approval with conditions.
Okay, I'll make that motion for approval with conditions as stated in the draft approval.
Motion made. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Okay, motion made by Ms. Hofstadter, seconded by Mr. Kyokyo. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of approval of the resolution of approval with conditions, please say aye.
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 Opposed? The resolution of approval with conditions is approved. Thank you. You will see tonight we have no referrals, new business, or correspondence. And since your chairman is heading to Florida tomorrow, I had to get that in. Unless there's anything else, commission members, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Second.
So moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, that's a nice quick meeting.